What's going on, everybody? It's Achilles LBT coming at you with a brand new video, and in today's video we will still be continuing with the theme of the reworks. In this video we will be excuse me, voice losing, gone, words. In this video we will be showcasing Tychus. Now, I'm gonna admit that I've actually tried the new Tychus 2 times before attempting to showcase this video, and immediately I can throw it out there. I absolutely loved his new damage. I found that in both cases my early game damage was really good, but it would fall off pretty hardcore due to the fact that the enemy team would focus me down, and I would really have nobody to peel for me to get them off of me. So with that being said, we are going to try and spec into Tychus' escapability a little bit here. At level 1, we're going to be going for dash, just to kind of review what that does. Running gun increases your movement speed by 1% for each regen globe. You get up to 25% in the last 2 seconds, and once you get 25%, you gain an additional 50%. So, basically, I won't need, if I do this right, which we're going to try and do that right there. If I do this right, if I get 25, I said 25, I can't talk. 25 globes on my own, it should actually lessen the burden there is on like my teammates to try and keep me alive, which is very good. I absolutely love the way Tychus plays now. I actually was kind of like suspect on it. I didn't think I'd like it that much, but like when I played it, my god, did I find it so much fun. And in the early game, as is the case with all grindy builds, we're just going to be like trying to farm globes as much as possible. I don't think I'm going to amount to much trying to land against the Murky here, but as long as we can stop him from pushing anything, that's really all we need to do. So far, we already have 3 globes in the bank. We need to get to 25. Murky moved on to a different lane, which is letting me soak XP on my own, which I'm totally fine with. You see, it's already starting to show a little bit. Definitely not in a position where I could push this lane out. And my teammates are already getting kills, which is good. We do hit level 4 before the enemy team. At level 4, we are going to be going for Master Assassin. Now, I'm going to flat out admit that I have never tried this out before. This is just merely me seeing if this has any kind of viability to it, and that's about it. Generally, I liked the bigger they are because it actually allowed for me to burst down the enemy tank relatively easily and put them in a weakened state. And you might find that putting the enemy tank in a weakened state at a fast rate goes a long way towards helping your team win the team fight. We are going to go ahead and put this damage on Sonya. Good polymorph there by Brightwing. And the enemy team is not focusing me down just yet, so that actually could end up being a good thing for me. You already see this, the movement speed coming in handy. Oh shit. I need healing. I need healing. And now every takedown we get is actually going to increase our attack speed. So basically the idea is that if we can secure 10 takedowns, we will be able to like practically melt anything we shoot at. If I'm understanding the talent correctly. That's the idea. Now mind you, we haven't really been participating too much yet in team fight activities, so I'm not expecting my damage to be all that crazy just yet, because we're in globe hunting mode right now. Everything is supposed to help my my escapes. But with that being said, we are going to roam to the top lane and help out with the Butcher. I am going to get grabbed here. But you see, the movement speed actually bailed me out right there. Already we're seeing results from that level 1 pick. I am going to back here. I can get my health back. I may actually go back because the mid lane is pretty pushed in right now. But Murky did resurface in the mid lane, so now I have to go address that. I feel like with this build, this could actually end up being something good if we actually pay attention to the grind element of it. Level 7, we are going to be going for Relentless Soldier. Basically, anything I could do to help Tychus' survivability is where I'm going to go with this in the early game. do pick up another globe. And we're going to make our way down. One thing I like about Tychus' quests is that they're permanent. There is no element of if he dies, he loses what he has. And that's always fantastic. And again, we do get grabbed, but we are okay. I'm going to just try and put as much damage as I can on whoever I can. But I'm also going to try and be mindful of my positioning as well. Not sure why the Butcher elected to charge on a Murky. We are going to back away before Sonya can use her spear on me because I am pretty low on health. Butcher is still alive. We are going to be able to secure that kill on the Dahaka. Or not. I haven't used the grenade yet. We do need the Dahaka to go in on this. There we go. Not really worried just yet, but we are stacking up. We are stacking up takedowns. That actually matters. For this build, at least, it really, really matters that we actually are around and we're involved in takedowns. We are going to rotate over to the mid lane to pick up this Sonya. Again, I absolutely love the damage properties on Tychus now. They are so good. Right now, we're at 9 globes for our speed. Already, I feel like a significant increase in my escapability. I was going to try and go up top, but that's not an option anymore. I don't think I targeted Sonya properly right there. Another thing I love is that Tychus has more options than just his Q ability to do damage now. We are going to move in on that globe. I do notice the Dahaka up top. Thankfully, he didn't grab me that time. Sonya does actually use her spear on me. Thankfully, the movement speed was enough to get me out of that. We are at level 10 at this point, so I am going to be going for Odin. Just by default, I really, really feel like Tychus' base kit is so good now. I feel like Tychus' base kit is so good now that his heroics almost seem worthless. But that's just me. We're not even that active yet in team fights, and we're not that far behind on hero damage, just to kind of prove the point. Alright, let's move up. You have to rotate down to the bottom lane. Dahaka can always move in at the last minute, which is exactly what you just saw him do. Absolutely need to get down to my teammates here. I was kind of hoping that was our Murky that had that going, but it wasn't, unfortunately. See how much we're able to damage the enemy tanks there? I did miss a regen globe right there. Oh, that's a good Hyperion. I really, really hope that we actually got that. That's another takedown that we were involved in. I'm going to burst down this Dahaka. He is going to try and land a tongue on me. The Q ability is doing a good job of actually making him back off. Vala at this point needs to be a little careful. We do still have a friendly Dahaka down there actively engaged. Oh god, Sonya. Man, there are a lot of deaths going down, and I'm really not sure how it's happening. Murky's actually doing a really, really good job of being a nuisance. Not so much for me, but because I'm not really paying him any mind unless he just so happens to be there. But you see the attack speed right now is ridiculous. I definitely like Master Assassin. The melt is real. And every time we get a takedown now, we're already at 10, so we've hit our mark. So our attack speed is maxed out. So thankfully, you have to wait till level 4 to go for that, but thankfully the grind isn't so hardcore that they make you pay for waiting that long. I am gonna burst down this Sonya. Oh god. So many targets. Actually, I should have queued up. That's what I'm talking about. Like, now his base kit is so good that I actively forget about his heroics. Alright, since they backed off, we are going to add range to our Q ability. And just drop one more set of bombs. I'm liking the build so far. Could you imagine how crazy it would be if Tychus still had Vampiric? I'm glad he doesn't, but if he did with this attack speed, that would be nuts. I do need to heal up here. I can't afford to go in with this kind of health. I am going to make my way up. We will put that damage on Sonya, just to get her to back off. We did aggro the boss too, so that could help. That'll be a kill. I am absolutely loving the movement speed on that E ability. It's going to come in. That's going to be a big, big part of what we're doing at level 20. Just go ahead and take out Raynor. The Haka would not be wise to move in on that. We are going to kill Murky easily. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. That was almost a really, really big mistake on my part. I thought for sure I could throw that grenade over the wall. I'm going to go ahead and recall. Right now we have 20 takedowns and no deaths. That's crazy. Definitely what you want to have for that Master Assassin talent. We're half. Well, are we halfway right now? We have. Well, we're more than halfway. We need 10 more regen globes to get the full effect of that speed enhancement we went for at level 1. Right now, the escapability options are really, really, really good. They're really solid. Sonya's right there, and the melt is real. Oh my god! If you guys would get out of my way. She's not going anywhere. Now we're gonna add the slow on the Q ability. These talents at this point feel like the old style of Tychus. All right. We're on the way. I realize I might be a little late. The Haka, and they're gonna get both of these. That's crazy. That's really upsetting. This is almost looking like the last game I played here on the channel with the Kael'thas video, where there were a lot of good things being done, and like we're just not winning the game. See, the enemy that the Haka chose to use isolation on me, which is interesting. Friendly volley used up her heroic. I might have another heroic on deck. We are slowing the Brightwing. Brightwing does have to use polymorph on me. Not worried about Sonya at all. She got stunned right out of her whirlwind. That's why you don't spin on heroes. The only thing we're really not using much is the grenade. We are going to queue up our heroic right here, though. We have the entire enemy team in front of us. The Hawk is going to feel the full effect of that. I'll definitely take back what I said. I still feel the value of this heroic. I'm just not a very good Tychus user. That's probably what it is. I know for a fact I'm not a good Tychus player, but I think that's what it is with the heroic side of things. We are going to burst down Raynor here. But the Brightwing does a good job of healing him. Murky is behind us. Let's just go ahead and do that. Secure another takedown. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, I'm being dragged, I'm being dragged. Let's just go ahead and back them up. And we're going to do that. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This could be really, really bad. I don't have a heroic on me at this point. We need the Dahaka here. Big time. But I don't want to die for this. This is going really, really bad. Like, we're not winning any of the objectives at all. That was a good shot by Raynor, actually, right there. If Uther would have landed a stun with me putting that kind of damage out there, I think for sure Sonya would have been dead. Now we're actually at a position where we're being aggressive on team fights constantly, and it's actually translating to the hero damage side of things. No need to chase Murky there. Enemy team does grab a boss. Man, this is going so bad. And Murky's about to secure another kill for his team. Everybody's just dying so much. This is like this is how you know that I'm not a good Tychus player, because I'm not expecting to have a certain output. So I'm focusing on my output so much more than like a hero that I actually am comfortable with, that it's making me not pay attention to what's going on like in the game. Like, if the enemy team gets even one of these shrines, that's game over. We're going to try our best to go in on this Sonya. We absolutely need a pick here. I am going to queue up my my heroic. And I do get taken out for it. Enemy team did a good job. They're zoning everybody back so that Dahaka can pick up that right there, and that's probably going to be the game. That's unfortunate. It's definitely not a good game at all, but it is what it is. I always like when everybody is so casual about losing a game. But it is quick match, so what can you expect? That being said, I absolutely loved this build. I don't know if it's a definitive way to go about Tychus at all. There are probably better ways to use him that I just don't know, because I'm not a hardcore Tychus user. But with that being said, the problem that I had with the first two games that I used Tychus was that it was too easy to focus me down, and I had no teammates to really like help me out with that. With this build, essentially it takes that problem out of the equation, because the speed enhancements you get are all you need. And at level 20, if we would have been able to reach it, I was going to tack on a second dash so that I would have twice the escapability. So that would have been monstrous at that point. But alas, this game only lasted 17 minutes. We got outslayed 17-13. Granted, I didn't really die at all. Like, I only died once at the end because it was really like there was no other way to play that really without losing the game. It was either try and suicide or lose the game, and unfortunately I suicided and we still lost. But also, I find it interesting that now that I think about it, I find it interesting that they have a point in the game where 3 shrines pop up at the same time on that map, when it used to be that way on the temple shrine map. I forgot what it's called, but the map with the temple shrines. They used to have the same thing where 3 objectives would pop up at once, and they took it out because they felt like it left one team in a position where there was no way they could actually come back. And now you see Towers of Doom have the same exact thing, and as you just saw, the same exact result. We had no way to really get out of that at that point. Granted, I played in games where there were 3 shrines, and we were 1 shrine away from losing, and we got all 3 anyway, so it's not impossible, but the majority of the time that situation is going to favor the team that has a lead. So, but I digress. That's a whole nother thing altogether. It's just something that I noticed just now, and I was thinking about it off the top of my head. The hero damage took a while to come through, but it finally did in a big way. The problem was it really wasn't coming through in a way that could help my team win. I think that's more of a result of me not being a good Tychus player, not a result of the hero not being like well balanced on that front. Could you have taken a different talent at level 4? Probably, but I absolutely loved this ability. Like, it really, really does make you feel like you can melt people. So I actually liked it. Me personally, I would keep it. But I would say out of this build, aside from the obvious things, I feel like Dash is really, 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 really strong. I feel like it's a really, really good ability at level 1, and you actually see some upside from it if you actually pay attention to the grind. I had no trouble whatsoever getting out of bad situations. The movement speed after the dash ability itself is very, very good, especially if you do your job of getting the globes in the early game. I absolutely feel like it was good. The rest of this build, I would say you're free to interpret on your own. There are better options out there. If you want them, go for them. But like I said, once we hit a point when we were starting to get aggressive in team fights, the damage was definitely there. At least I feel like it was. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate all the support. This is Achilles LBT. As always, that's Achilles with the Z. Remember it.